Hello and welcome to this module on called Meteor Hello World, and the idea is to practice our standard practice for working with Meteor, which means creating a GitHub repo, creating a Meteor app inside that repo in a directory called app, and then running it, editing it, and committing the changes to GitHub. Pretty straightforward. So we'll start off with going to GitHub. Once we're there, we'll create a new repo, and in this case, we'll call it Meteor Hello World. We'll initialize it with a README, and we'll create the repo. And once we have it on GitHub, we'll open it, basically download it. That's because I had it before. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. So now let me try again. Okay. All right, there we go. So that's what it should really look like. And I'm going to put it inside, since it's in my personal account area, I've got a directory called GitHub with all my organizations, and this is my personal account. And then inside there, I'm going to have a thing called Meteor Hello World, so I'll clone it into that area. There it is. And so if I find it locally, it looks like this, and there we can see it's, got the .git and the README. Okay. So the second thing we need to do is go in there and do Meteor create Meteor Hello World. So we'll say Meteor create Meteor Hello World to create the app with the same name as the repo, which is generally what you want to do. And Meteor takes a little while to run. That's just for grins. Let's see how long it takes it. Okay, that took maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 seconds. And now the problem is we've now got this directory called Meteor Hello World, and inside it we've got another directory called Meteor Hello World, and that's silly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename Meteor Hello World app. Okay, so inside the repo called Meteor Hello World, we've got a subdirectory called app that contains our actual Meteor app. And you may be asking yourself, why isn't the Meteor application at the top level of this GitHub repo? And the reason is because it's going to turn out when you build projects, there's going to be certain files, and like readme.md is an example of one, that doesn't make sense to be part of your Meteor app. It's kind of, it's meta information, and we might have a doc folder at this top level that provides documentation about the Meteor app. Again, it shouldn't be part of the actual app that you deploy. It's separate information. So in general, it makes sense to have your actual Meteor app be a subdirectory or a subfolder of the repo that holds not only the app, but all of the app affiliated types of information. Okay, and since it would just be silly to call those two folders the same thing, by convention, we'll call that folder app. Okay, let's cd into that app directory. And what you generally want to do is do a Meteor npm install, so that any npm packages that your app is going to use gets put into a directory called node modules. And anytime you add additional node stuff, I guess you got to do this npm install. Then we'll do Meteor run to actually bring this thing up. And this is always interesting to time this, just so you get a sense for what's a reasonable startup time. And hopefully, actually, by the time you could counter this module, they will have provided a release which makes this go a lot faster. Because the build time for Meteor is one of the things people complain about a lot, and they've just said they're going to work on this. So I hope that this is a lot slower than what you guys will be encountering. Okay, so we're just about there. Okay, so that took 39 seconds, which super, that's not great. Now you will see later that actually when you're rebuilding after that initial start, things go pretty relatively quickly. So if we go to localhost 3000, and I don't know, we could do this just so we could see both. You can see I can click me and things work. Okay, so however, we want to also be able to edit and restart our app. So if we go back into IntelliJ, let's create a new project, a static web project, and let's have it point at our Meteor Hello World repo. There it is. So we'll say OK, finish. And now you're going to have a little pause. It's going to index. It's got to look at all those packages that got put into the node modules directory. So this is going to be a little more slow. Let's see how long this takes. Just so you get a sense. It's been 10 seconds. "15 seconds. Jeez. Okay, so another 20-25 seconds. The very first time you create, oh come on, don't start over. So the very first time you create your IntelliJ project associated with your Meteor thing, you've got this little bit of startup as well, which kind of sucks. But actually, we don't have to wait for it now that I think about that. You can just let that happen in the background. Okay, so here we have our Meteor Hello World. We have our app in here. I think what we wanted to do now was edit it, right? Oops. Oh, it's asking about adding things. We'll just say, okay. But if I go back to here, I've created the IntelliJ project that points to the repo. Edit the top level template and see that Meteor restarts and refreshes the page automatically. So here we are here. So I'll edit the top level template that's in client main.html. How about we'll say welcome to Meteor Hello World. So I'll save that, move to Chrome, and all this, it's already updated. If we look at the console, we can see that we got this client modified refreshing message which said it rebuilt the app and refreshed the page for us automatically. So that's what's kind of cool about Meteor is that once you've got things running, which admittedly can take a little bit, Propeller S, move here, and you can see it's refreshed it again. So development after that initial kind of build period is not bad. Okay, so let's commit our project to GitHub. So I'm going to move to the uncommitted stuff. There's a bunch of files there, the IntelliJ files, which eventually in the .meteor files, and our top level things. So I'll say initial commit of system, commit and sync master. And then as the last thing, we're just going to make sure that we see it over on GitHub. So let's go back into the browser, look at this page, and it looks just like it should. Inside the app directory, we've got not the node modules directory because people can locally rebuild that by doing an npm install, and we don't want to be committing all that node stuff all over GitHub. Okay, there you go. So hopefully you can go through this process real quickly without any problems.